everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we will be exploring 10 psychological ways to identify if you're dealing with an evil person, all through the lens of Stoicism. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, can provide us with valuable insights into human behavior. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. So let's dive right in and learn how to recognize these traits in others. 1. Lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to share and understand the feelings of others, putting oneself in their shoes. It is a fundamental aspect of being human, fostering kindness, compassion, and moral decision-making. However, when someone consistently demonstrates a lack of empathy, it raises red flags about their psychological makeup. Research has shown that individuals devoid of empathy often exhibit traits associated with psychopathy, narcissism, and antisocial personality disorder. The absence of empathy allows these individuals to manipulate, exploit, and harm others without remorse or guilt. It becomes a psychological sign of their malevolence, as they are unable to connect with the emotions of their victims or comprehend the consequences of their actions. To grasp the gravity of a lack of empathy, let's consider an example. Imagine an office environment where a colleague, let's call him Alex, lacks empathy towards his coworkers. Alex consistently undermines, belittles, and takes credit for their work, all while displaying a complete disregard for their feelings. He is indifferent to the distress he causes and even takes pleasure in their suffering. As a result, the office becomes a toxic environment, with colleagues feeling demoralized, anxious, and fearful. The lack of empathy from Alex allows him to exploit his co-workers' vulnerabilities, manipulating them for his own gain. The ripple effect of his evil actions spreads, tarnishing the overall work atmosphere and impacting the mental well-being of everyone involved. 2. Manipulative behavior. Manipulation is an art mastered by those who seek to control and deceive others for their own gain. It involves cunningly influencing the thoughts, emotions, and actions of those around them, often leaving victims feeling helpless, confused, and trapped. Evil individuals who possess a dark desire to exploit others often employ manipulative tactics as a means to further their own agenda. Imagine a seemingly charming and charismatic person named Alex. Alex exudes an aura of warmth and sincerity, drawing people towards them effortlessly. However, unbeknownst to others, Alex possesses a sinister motive: to control and dominate those who fall into their web of manipulation. One by one, Alex begins subtly manipulating their friends, family, and colleagues. They use tactics such as gaslighting, where they twist the truth to make others doubt their own perceptions. They employ guilt-tripping techniques to make their victims feel responsible for their own actions, even when innocent. Alex skillfully taps into their victims' vulnerabilities, exploiting their weaknesses for personal gain. Over time, Alex's true nature becomes apparent as their manipulative behavior reveals itself. Friends find themselves isolated, relationships crumble, and careers suffer. The once charming facade fades away, leaving behind a trail of shattered lives and a chilling realization that they were dealing with an evil person. 3. Pathological lying. Pathological lying goes beyond the occasional fib or exaggeration to create a web of deceit that becomes an integral part of the liar's identity. It is often associated with personality disorders such as narcissism, psychopathy, or antisocial personality disorder. These individuals possess a distorted sense of self, lacking empathy and a moral compass. Pathological lying becomes their weapon of choice to manipulate, control, and inflict harm on others. Detecting a pathological liar can be challenging, as they are masters of deception. However, there are certain red flags that can serve as warning signs. One of the key indicators is the inconsistency in their stories. Pathological liars often struggle to keep their lies straight, leading to contradictions and discrepancies that unravel their web of deceit. Additionally, they tend to embellish their tales with unnecessary details, aiming to captivate and manipulate their audience. Imagine a scenario where you encounter a charming new acquaintance. Let's call them Alex. Alex weaves an intricate narrative about their extraordinary life experiences, claiming to have traveled the world, hobnobbed with famous personalities, and achieved remarkable feats. Their stories are mesmerizing, painting a picture of an enviable life. However, as you get to know Alex better, you start noticing inconsistencies in their accounts. Their tales become increasingly grandiose, stretching the bounds of credibility. Eventually, you discover that Alex's claims were nothing more than a carefully constructed web of lies designed to gain admiration and control over others. This example illustrates how pathological lying can be used to manipulate and deceive, leaving a trail of broken trust and shattered relationships in its wake. Pathological lying is not merely a quirk or a psychological disorder. It reveals a deeper, more sinister aspect of an individual's character. The ability to lie effortlessly and without remorse is indicative of a lack of empathy and a willingness to exploit others for personal gain. These traits align with the darker side of human nature, allowing the liar to perpetrate acts of manipulation, emotional abuse, and even physical harm. While not all pathological liars are inherently evil, their consistent deceit and disregard for the well-being of others should not be taken lightly. 4. Charming and charismatic. Stoicism teaches us that true virtue lies in our own character and actions, rather than in external appearances or the opinions of others. Stoics believe that external circumstances, such as charm and charisma, are indifferent to our moral character. However, they also recognize the importance of being vigilant and discerning when dealing with others, as these interactions can profoundly impact our own well-being. Imagine a scenario where you encounter an individual who possesses an undeniable charm and charisma. They effortlessly navigate social situations, leaving a trail of mesmerized individuals in their wake. From an external perspective, they appear to be the epitome of confidence, magnetism, and charm. However, Stoicism encourages us to look beyond the surface-level allure and delve deeper into the intentions and actions of such individuals. Stoics argue that charm and charisma can sometimes be used as tools of manipulation and deceit. Evil individuals may utilize their charismatic qualities to gain trust, influence others, and further their own self-serving agendas. By captivating our attention and subtly molding our perceptions, they create an illusion of benevolence while masking their true intentions. Let us consider the example of Gaius, a charismatic individual who effortlessly wins over those around him. Gaius possesses an uncanny ability to connect with people, making them feel understood and valued. His charm and charisma seem to emanate effortlessly, drawing others towards him like moths to a flame. At first glance, Gaius appears to be a genuine and caring individual, but a Stoic observer might sense something amiss. Upon closer examination, it becomes apparent that Gaius uses his charm and charisma to manipulate others for personal gain. He skillfully leverages his captivating qualities to advance his own interests, often at the expense of those around him. Stoicism encourages us to be wary of such individuals, reminding us that charm and charisma alone do not define a person's true character. 5. Grandiosity. Marcus was a well-respected community leader, known for his charismatic personality and apparent self-confidence. He constantly boasted about his achievements, often exaggerating his contributions and minimizing the efforts of others. His grandiose claims left many in awe, believing that they were fortunate to have such a remarkable figure leading their cause. However, Stoicism teaches us to look beyond the surface and question the motives behind such grandiosity. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate an inner sense of tranquility and virtue, enabling us to see through the deceptive masks that some individuals wear. When faced with grandiosity, Stoics recognize that it often stems from a deep-seated insecurity or a desire for power and control. Marcus's grandiose claims were not a reflection of his actual accomplishments, but rather a desperate attempt to assert his superiority and maintain his influence over others. Stoicism teaches us to respond to grandiosity with wisdom and resilience. Instead of being swayed by the grandiose claims, a Stoic individual remains grounded in reason and virtue. They understand that true greatness lies not in self-aggrandizement, but in humility, compassion, and genuine contributions to the well-being of others. By adopting a Stoic perspective, we can unmask the evil intentions that often accompany grandiosity. Evil individuals, such as Marcus, manipulate others through their inflated sense of self-importance. They exploit the admiration and trust of those around them, using it as a tool to further their own agendas. Stoicism enables us to recognize their true nature and guard ourselves against their harmful influence. 6. Lack of remorse or guilt. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate virtue and inner tranquility, regardless of external circumstances. Stoics believe that a virtuous life is one that is guided by reason, ethics, and a deep understanding of the nature of things. They emphasize the importance of accountability for our actions and the power of empathy in fostering harmonious relationships. From a Stoic standpoint, a lack of remorse or guilt is a disconcerting sign that an individual may have strayed from the path of virtue. Stoics recognize that remorse serves as a moral compass, guiding us to acknowledge and rectify our wrongdoings. It is a fundamental emotion that arises from our innate sense of empathy and our awareness of the consequences of our actions on others. Imagine encountering an individual who exhibits an utter absence of remorse or guilt, as if they were immune to the weight of their actions. This person's moral compass seems to be absent, leaving them free to engage in manipulative behavior, deceit, or even acts of violence without a hint of regret. Stoically speaking, such an individual has become disconnected from their natural inclination towards empathy and ethics, veering towards a darker path. To fully grasp the implications of a lack of remorse, let's delve into a fictional example. Meet Alexander, a charismatic and intelligent individual who possesses a complete absence of guilt. Alexander Alexander, driven by his insatiable thirst for power, manipulates and deceives those around him to achieve his goals. He orchestrates intricate schemes, causing harm and distress to unsuspecting victims, yet he remains untouched by any sense of remorse. Alexander's actions epitomize the Stoic notion of an evil person, as he not only disregards the well-being of others, but also lacks the capacity to acknowledge the consequences of his malevolent deeds. 7. Exploitation of others. Stoicism teaches us that evil is not an external force or an innate quality, but rather a product of the individual's own choices and beliefs. According to the Stoics, evil arises from a distorted perception of what is truly good, leading individuals to prioritize their own self-interests at the expense of others. Exploitation, thus, becomes a manifestation of this distorted perception, as the exploiter seeks to gain advantage or control over others without regard for their well-being. To illustrate this concept, let's turn to one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius. As the Roman emperor, Aurelius faced numerous challenges, including dealing with individuals who sought to exploit his power and influence for personal gain. Yet, Aurelius approached these encounters with a Stoic mindset, recognizing that the actions of others were merely reflections of their own flawed understanding of virtue. In his renowned work, Meditations, Aurelius writes, "The wickedness of others is something that they have on their own conscience and not on mine." This profound statement encapsulates the Stoic perspective on evil and exploitation. Aurelius understood that he had control only over his own thoughts, actions, and responses. By recognizing that the exploitation of others stems from the exploiter's own vices, he maintained his inner peace and refused to let their actions define his own character. Stoicism equips us with valuable tools to navigate encounters with evil individuals. By embracing the Stoic principles, we can minimize the impact of exploitation on our own well-being and maintain our moral integrity. 8. Aggressive and hostile. Aggression and hostility are powerful emotions that can manifest in various ways, ranging from verbal outbursts to physical violence. These behaviors often stem from deep-seated psychological issues, such as unresolved childhood trauma, personality disorders, or intense feelings of insecurity and powerlessness. It is important to note that not all individuals who display aggression or hostility are inherently evil, as these emotions can sometimes be a response to stress, fear, or frustration. However, when these traits become consistent patterns of behavior, it may be an indicator of something more sinister at play. Imagine encountering an individual who possesses a charismatic personality, drawing you in with their charm and wit. At first glance, they seem like the life of the party, effortlessly captivating everyone around them. However, as you spend more time with this person, you start noticing subtle signs of aggression and hostility. They constantly belittle others, make derogatory comments, and engage in manipulative tactics to control those around them. This individual thrives on creating chaos and conflict, leaving a trail of emotional turmoil in their wake. What makes this person particularly unsettling is their ability to effortlessly switch between their charming facade and their aggressive tendencies. Their aggression is calculated, designed to keep others off balance and maintain control. They revel in the power they derive from manipulating the emotions and actions of those around them, leaving a lasting impact on their victims. This case study highlights how aggression and hostility can be used as weapons by individuals with evil intentions, ultimately serving as red flags for those who are keen observers. 9. Blaming others. Blaming others is a strategic tool used by those with evil intentions to manipulate and control their surroundings. It serves as a defense mechanism, allowing them to shift the focus away from their own actions and onto someone else. By blaming others, they escape accountability and avoid facing the consequences of their deeds. This psychological phenomenon is rooted in a complex interplay of personality traits such as narcissism, lack of empathy, and a desire for power and control. Evil individuals thrive on creating chaos and discord. They possess a twisted sense of entitlement, viewing themselves as superior and infallible. Blaming others becomes a means to maintain their self-image and exert dominance over their victims. By projecting their faults onto others, they can manipulate situations to their advantage, leaving the innocent on the receiving end of unwarranted blame and guilt. Imagine a workplace scenario where a team is working on a critical project. Everything seems to be going smoothly until a major setback occurs. Instead of taking responsibility for the error, an evil individual quickly resorts to blaming their colleagues. They skillfully twist the narrative, casting doubt on their team members' competence and dedication. As a result, the blame shifts away from the true culprit discard, leaving the innocent parties feeling guilty and demoralized. This calculated move allows the evil individual to maintain their facade of perfection while sowing seeds of discord within the team. 10. Sadistic tendencies. Imagine a seemingly ordinary individual named Alex. On the surface, Alex appears friendly, charismatic, and well-liked by those around them. However, beneath this charming facade lurks a deep-seated sadistic streak that becomes increasingly evident over time. Alex's friends begin to notice a pattern of behavior that raises concerns. They observe how Alex takes pleasure in inflicting pain, not only physically, but also emotionally. Alex frequently manipulates others, reveling in their distress and vulnerability. This sadistic inclination becomes even more apparent when Alex is presented with opportunities to exploit power dynamics or control situations to their advantage. For instance, during a group project at work, Alex takes pleasure in demeaning and belittling their colleagues, enjoying the discomfort it causes. The genuine pain and suffering of others seem to fuel Alex's satisfaction, and they derive a twisted sense of power from these situations. Such sadistic tendencies manifest in various ways, from humiliating others to indulging in malicious gossip or even engaging in acts of physical harm. Sadistic tendencies, as exemplified by Alex, reveal a psychological inclination towards deriving pleasure from the suffering of others. This distinctive trait often goes hand in hand with an absence of empathy and a profound disregard for the well-being of others. While not all individuals with sadistic tendencies will necessarily become evil, the presence of such inclinations can serve as a crucial warning sign. The psychological roots of sadism can be traced to a complex interplay of factors, including a potential combination of genetic predispositions, early life experiences, and environmental influences. In some cases, sadism may be a manifestation of deep-seated, unresolved trauma or a reflection of an individual's profound sense of powerlessness. Nevertheless, it is important to note that sadistic tendencies alone are not definitive proof of evil intentions, but rather a psychological indicator to be taken seriously. Understanding these psychological ways to identify an evil person through the lens of Stoicism can help protect us from toxic and harmful individuals. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and remain virtuous in our actions. If you recognize these traits in someone, it's important to prioritize your well-being and distance yourself from their negative influence. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.